You're watching Red Hunt, where reality sometimes feels stranger than fiction, like in this next story. My best friend and I were supposed to live together this year. We were excited and joked about it being like a sleepover every night. However, halfway through the first semester, she started dating a senior she had been interested in for over a year. This was her first relationship, and after they got together, she stopped spending time with our friend group and basically moved in with her girlfriend, leaving me alone in our room. I gave her space for a couple of months, understanding it was new for her. What prompted me to say something was seeing a text she sent to her parents, which stated, "My girlfriend cannot come for winter break, so my friend will come instead." It felt like I was just a backup. I sent a message explaining that I felt taken for granted. I did not expect to be her top priority, but I did not feel like a priority at all. We talked. She apologized for not being present, and I apologized for waiting too long to express my feelings. She promised to spend more time in our room and with our friends. However, after break, nothing changed. She continued to spend all her time with her girlfriend and her girlfriend's friends. Our group stopped making an effort to include her, as it was clear where her priorities lay. I will admit I was passive-aggressive and distant, but I felt hurt and abandoned. 6 months in, she broke down to a mutual friend, and we had a group discussion. I expressed that it hurt to watch her pull away and that she could not expect her friends to be there if she did not put in any effort. She said she was doing her best and felt unseen. We all apologized and agreed to move forward. She invited us to her birthday dinner and party at her girlfriend's house. At dinner, she sat with her girlfriend and her friends, barely acknowledging the rest of us. At the party, we gave her a gift, received an awkward thank you, and then were ignored. Most of the group accepted that they were no longer close with her. However, for me, it hurt more. This was my best friend, and she only seemed to want me around when her girlfriend was unavailable. I stayed late at the party, hoping to talk. I hugged her and said, "We really need to talk and clear the air. I love you. Happy birthday," she nodded. The following week, I texted her to ask when she was free to talk. After almost a day, she replied, saying she was busy and perhaps next week would work. I followed up and she responded, "I do not think it will be beneficial to talk. I'm hurt and need space. Have a good rest of your semester and good luck with finals." This confused me. We have had nothing but space. I have been living alone for most of the year when I thought I would be living with my best friend. I replied that clearly space is not working and that it has been really hard doing this alone. She has not responded. A mutual friend told me she is waiting for me to apologize, but aside from not communicating sooner, something I have already apologized for, I do not know what else I am supposed to be sorry for. Am I in the wrong? You're not in the wrong. I mean, you already apologized for not speaking up earlier, right? And it's pretty clear that friendships should be mutual. It's tough, but honestly, she chose her girlfriend over you and ghosted your whole friend group. You shouldn't have to keep reaching out when she's just making excuses. Sometimes friendships just fade, and that's okay. Letting go might feel a little rough now, but holding on could feel a lot worse in the long run. If she comes back later when things go south with her girlfriend, just remember how she treated you. Not all friendships last forever, and that's just part of life. Stay strong and good luck with your finals. Am I the jerk for booking a hotel for a friend, presuming they will be okay with it? I am a 21-year-old female, and my friend, who is also 21 years old and female, along with 3 other friends, planned a trip to another state. We were all very excited because it was our first group trip. My friend has a somewhat childish behavior and does not like managing things or taking responsibility, so I took on the responsibility of booking hotels and trains. I found the best route and informed her about it. Problems began with the hotel. She specifically asked me to find something beautiful and affordable. I found several options, but she kept saying they could be more beautiful. However, she did not want to pay much and preferred a cheaper option while expecting a high-end hotel at that rate. This caused me a lot of stress, and I spent nights searching for a better hotel. The main issue was the hotel's location. It needed to be close to the city, but staying in the city was more expensive. As I was trying to find the right hotel, she complained about how I kept changing options. I explained that it was my first time planning a trip and I was learning about the quality and distance of hotels, which is why I made those changes. 2 days ago, I contacted a hotel that was exactly in the location we needed. Since we were staying for a long period, they agreed to give us a discount. They asked for a 50% payment up front and the remaining 50% upon arrival. I sent her all the details, but she was at her college and did not see the message. Seeing how good the deal was, I paid the 50% myself, assuming everyone would be okay with it. That turned out to be my biggest mistake because it was non-refundable. I shared everything with the group and everyone was happy except for her. She called me and started yelling at me for paying the amount without consulting her first. She said, "You booked for me without even informing me. Don't you think this is wrong?" I am truly sorry for trusting that everyone would be on board and for not discussing it with her first. Her parents have now told her not to go on the trip and she agreed with them, saying, "Parents are just concerned about me. Don't you have morals to understand that?" Her words were very hurtful. Now that she is not going, my parents will not allow me to go either, since it would only leave 3 people. The other friend is also her friend, so he will not go if she does not. Consequently, the trip has been cancelled. I am left feeling stressed about how to get a refund from the hotel. Both she and her father are angry with me for booking the hotel without their consent, and I feel it is entirely my fault. I have been crying and cannot stop thinking about the loss. I contacted the hotel and explained the situation, and they said they would try to help, but I have not heard back from them yet. Am I in the wrong here? Please be honest, I want to learn from this experience for next time. It's wild how it sounds like your friend was kind of looking for a reason to back out of the trip. Honestly, she seems pretty high maintenance, and I mean, it's likely you wouldn't have enjoyed the vacation with her around. The fact that her parents are still controlling her decisions at 21. That's a red flag. Either she's not being honest with you, or she's just not ready to handle adult life yet. It might be a good idea to find a couple of other friends who want to join you instead. As for booking the hotel, yeah, it would have been better to wait for everyone's response first. But it sounds like you were just trying to get things organized for the group. I get it, it's a bit of a jerk move to book for someone without asking, but with how things were discussed, it feels like you're not in the wrong here. This person isn't really your friend, and honestly, your life will probably feel easier without that kind of drama. So you're not wrong at all. Would I be the jerk if I badmouthed a former friend in hopes of healing my reputation? My former friend, another girl, and I planned an event together. I created and paid for flyers, contacted vendors for better prices, and purchased the majority of the items with all of us chipping in. During the arrangements, the weather app announced potential rain, which could jeopardize our investment since the event was outdoors. I contacted the supermarkets to inquire about their return policies and learned that undamaged products could be returned within 24 hours with a receipt. I informed our group chat about the situation and offered to buy everything on the day of the event and return the next day if we were unable to proceed. Unfortunately, the event did not go as well as we had hoped. I began working at 8:00 a.m., and although the event ended past 11:00 a.m., I did most of the work alone. My former friend was involved in the planning and arrived around 1:00 p.m. for setup, but the other girl did not help at all in the planning. She showed up late, left early, and did not fulfill her responsibilities by ordering the food late and in an insufficient amount. After the event, some items remained unopened. However, I could not take them home because I was using public transportation, and it would not have been safe. The next day, I woke up to find the other girl and my former friend dividing the earnings in the group chat, including the price of the remaining items, assuming that I would return them. Initially, they even included opened items, which I opposed since those could not be returned. When the other girl became aggressive and asked when I was going to return the items, I decided to express that I did not think it was fair for me to handle this alone, as that was not what I had originally offered. Following this, the other girl removed me from the group chat and later added me to a chat with only her and my former friend. They first told me that I should not have shared my pizza slice because everyone else paid for their food. I responded that if they could take a slice each without paying, I could share mine as well. Next, they claimed that nobody could assure that I had not taken products without paying. This accusation was particularly upsetting because I had paid for everything. I had a budget versus earnings sheet that showed no money was missing. When I insisted on the seriousness of the accusation, they claimed I was overreacting and that no one had accused me. Finally, they insisted that I had offered to return all the items. When I sent a screenshot that disproved their claim, they called me disrespectful and removed me from the second chat. My former friend later texted me and said they had decided to give me my share minus the returnable items. After she accidentally wired less than the correct amount, I received about $7. Additionally, half of the items were damaged and I was unable to return them. I feel that I am not in the wrong here, but I have heard that people are talking about me behind my back. Would I be the antagonist if I shared my side of the story with friends in similar groups in hopes that they would spread my version? Would this make me the antagonist? Any advice on how to handle this situation would be appreciated. Thank you. Straight talk, you're not in the wrong. You should definitely share your side and show the proof. But you know, there's a difference between sharing your story and tearing someone down. I mean, it's super tempting to go all out, but just think about the aftermath before you do. Some folks might urge you to scorch the earth, but honestly, they won't be there to see what happens to you. If you decide to clear your name, it's smart to treat the friendship as over and just move on. You might want to resist the urge to get back at them. It could make you look bad in the end. So focus on your truth and don't let the drama consume you. Staying above the mess will really help you in the long run. Am I the jerk for all but forcing my sibling to rehome their dog? I lived abroad for many years. When I returned to the United States, my mother, who is 60 years old, offered for me to stay with her and my brother, who is 23 years old, while I got my life in order, including finding a job and a car. However, I did not expect to find the house in such disarray. My mother has faced medical issues, apathy, and depression throughout her life, which has made it difficult for her to keep the house clean. On my brother's side, he struggles with unchecked autism and was raised in an unsanitary environment, resulting in a lack of understanding about cleanliness. Additionally, they have a large dog, a Labrador mix, that my brother has difficulty controlling. The situation was overwhelming. I temporarily stayed with my aunt for a month while dedicating 5 to 8 hours each day to cleaning. We filled a dumpster that stretched the length of our driveway, and there was still more to dispose of. There were mice in the garage that spread into the house when we cleaned. Dog waste was everywhere, and there were mountains of belongings scattered throughout the house. Dog hair, ripped carpets, mystery stains, soap scum, and mold were present in abundance. Despite the chaos, my mother insisted, but there are no dishes in the sink. We were doing our best. From the very beginning, I asserted that they could not adequately care for the dog and that we needed to find her a new home. This sparked a significant conflict. My brother understands my reasoning and agrees with me, but he is emotionally devastated by the idea of rehoming the dog. I have been trying on and off to find a suitable home for the dog for about 9 to 10 months. Recently, I found someone who seems well-equipped and experienced to care for a large dog, and they are scheduled to meet her in a couple of days. I informed my family about this last week. Today, my brother argued that he has been making progress in caring for the dog. However, I countered that most of the progress has come from my guidance. I make him watch training videos and teach him how to handle her. I am the one insisting that he spend more time with the dog than their brief 15-minute walks twice a day. 85% of the initiative comes from me. I feel guilty because I know he is trying, but he is still learning how to be an adult and take care of himself and his environment. I worry that once I leave, it will be too easy for him to neglect his responsibilities, hide things from my mother, or skip walks and cleaning when the dog has an accident after he has been at work for several hours. He wants to keep the dog but also understands my perspective and agrees to some extent. My mother, however, is not supportive. She simply wants my brother to be happy, even if it is not in their best interest in the long run. She wants to believe that he can manage and that they can make it work. I do not think this is feasible, and keeping the dog would set both of them and the dog up for failure. I am very upset by our discussion today and dislike being seen as the bad guy. Am I wrong for insisting that this dog needs to be rehomed? Honestly, you're not in the wrong. I mean, it's tough, but you're doing the right thing for the dog. Your brother has good intentions, sure, but he clearly isn't ready to care for a high-energy dog on his own. The dog really needs a stable home, and honestly, it's best for everyone involved if you find him a place where he can thrive. Your brother should focus on himself first. I understand that it makes sense to worry he might get another dog, but that's not your responsibility. Maybe a lower-maintenance pet like a turtle or a hamster could be a better fit for him right now. This is a rough call, but prioritizing the dog's welfare is what really matters. You're making a tough decision, and it's admirable that you're putting the dog's needs first. Wishing you all the best as you navigate this. Am I the jerk for trying to pressure my friend into revealing someone's name to me after finding out that person had a picture of me from when I was younger? Recently, my friend female, age 17, we will call her L, and I female, age 18, got into an argument about something that happened a few months ago. L received a picture of me when I was younger from one of her friends, we will call her G. The picture was a random photo from my elementary school days. Elle sent the picture to me, and I was a bit taken aback since we only met 2 years ago. I asked her multiple times who sent the picture because I did not know anyone from my elementary school who attends my high school. Elle refused to tell me, explaining that she promised G she would not disclose her identity. Elle stated that G thought it would be strange if she revealed who sent the photo. Elle questioned why I wanted to know who G was, arguing that I would not know her anyway. Eventually, Elle messaged G to ask if she could share her identity with me. At that point, I realized I was being somewhat insistent. G agreed, and I learned that G was someone I had never met before, which resolved the situation. Later, Elle called me to say she was waiting for G at a shopping center to hang out. She asked if I wanted to say hello, and I responded that I did not really know her, so I declined. I then jokingly remarked that Elle was strange for not telling me who G was. This comment sparked our argument. Elle told me that it was none of my business who G was, as she had promised not to reveal that information, and insisted it was not a significant issue. I acknowledged that it was not a big deal, but I pointed out that if someone were to send out pictures of Elle and I knew who sent them, she would want me to inform her. Elle countered that if I promised the person I would not tell her, she would accept that and eventually find out from others. I made an analogy to illustrate my perspective. If someone were to send out inappropriate photos of you and only I knew who sent them, you would want me to tell you who that is. Would it not be upsetting to you if I did not inform you just because I promised the sender I would not disclose their identity? I understand that this analogy presented a more serious situation, but I believed there was a connection. Elle insisted that she did not see any correlation and accused me of being overly dramatic. She stated that no matter what anyone else thought, she believed she was justified in not revealing G's identity. I understand the desire to be loyal to friends, but I felt uncomfortable knowing that a stranger had a picture of me when I was around 8 years old. I found myself questioning my feelings due to Elle's unapologetic stance. In the end, we remain close, but I would like to know if I am being immature and need to work on my character. Am I in the wrong for trying to pressure my friend into revealing something she did not want to share? You're not in the wrong, seriously. I mean, why does G have photos of you from when you were a kid? That's kind of off, and honestly, it definitely gives off some creepy vibes. If it's just a yearbook picture, sure, it's not private, but it still feels weird. Anyone could find those in a library or at a friend's house, but that doesn't make it okay. You should definitely talk to your folks about this. But on the flip side, if you're maybe blowing this out of proportion, it might be worth stepping back a bit. A picture is just a picture, even if it's not your favorite. Still, ending a friendship over it sounds a little extreme. Just figure out where you stand and keep it chill. Aitah for not crying at my grandparents' funeral. Yesterday, I attended the funeral of my grandfather, with whom I had a strong relationship. When I was a child, he would light up and play games with me, such as Pirates, where he would hide small treats for me to find around the house or backyard. During some of my darkest days, he offered me advice, often with a bit of colorful language. He was the man who, along with my father, bought me my first car. When my mother and I had issues, he always came to my defense. I respected him more than anyone else in the world. I mean no disrespect, but I believe that no one in history will ever reach the level he stood on. He was and always will be the greatest man to have ever lived. Last week, we received the news that he passed away unexpectedly in his sleep at the age of 83. I do not know the cause, nor do I wish to. Yesterday, we had his funeral, which was a lovely farewell for a man who was beloved by everyone. During the service, many people shed tears, but I remained calm and composed. Several family members noticed my demeanor and assumed it was due to shock. During the reception, a cousin approached me and asked if I was okay. I assured him that I was. He then commented that I was hiding my pain very well. When I inquired about what he meant, he explained that I did not shed a tear and seemed numb, and that everyone was worried about me. He said it was okay to cry. I responded, no, I am okay. He has passed and there is no need to be sad about it. I now realize I should have kept my thoughts to myself, as my cousin stared at me. I believe my uncle, my grandfather's brother, overheard our conversation and in front of everyone shouted, "What do you mean?" I repeated my statement and my uncle got in my face, yelling, "You are disrespecting him after everything your grandfather has done." We had an argument during which I stated, "You grieve how you grieve, and I will grieve how I grieve." My uncle then kicked me out of the reception, and I am currently sitting in my motel room. Most of my family members have called me horrible and disgusting in the family group chat, although a few are defending me. That same cousin reached out to me to ask about my attitude, and I explained my perspective. I am a Buddhist and have been practicing for 11 years. I practice daily when I can. For me, death is not the end. It is rather a transition from one body to another. I explained to my cousin that I was grieving, but in the best way I could. My religious beliefs are important to me, and my grandfather understood this. In fact, he took me to my first stupa and Buddhist monastery. I shared with my cousin the prayer I offered at my grandfather's coffin. May your karma be good, and may you enter the realms of man or gods. My cousin listened but said, I understand, but it is still disrespectful. So, am I the antagonist for not crying at my grandfather's funeral? Sheesh, you're not in the wrong at all. Your family really sounds like a lot, honestly. At funerals, no one should be judging how others grieve, right? Your uncle is definitely out of line for disrespecting your feelings. It's totally okay to find peace in your own way, especially with your beliefs. Everyone handles grief differently, and that includes your family. Some might react with anger just to avoid their own pain. While it doesn't excuse their words, it kind of helps to understand where they're coming from. You seem really emotionally strong, so hopefully, in time, you can find a way to forgive them. Just take your time and know that the tears will come when they need to. I'm so sorry for your loss. Thanks for watching. When you subscribe, make sure to hit the bell to turn on notifications so you never miss a video. To finish listening to all the stories, check out the playlist in the description.